Yo, what it do, YouTube? Today's video, I want to chime in with a quick impromptu video. In today's video, man, I want to talk about, bro, it's going to be some more spiritual messages, but it's basically going to be about where the world is headed to now. You see what I'm saying? Because if you pay attention, Satan always gives you hints before he makes an attack, right? Alright, so basically, if you've been paying attention, right, check this shit out. So the world is headed into a certain era, into a certain world. And that world is basically considered to be the technology age. You see what I'm saying? That's where we're currently headed. So basically that is the golden age, aka the information age, which we live in right now, aka the age of Aquarius, right? Which is supposed to be the age of enlightenment. But let me break this shit down to you. See, the age of enlightenment and stuff like that, actually that already happened before. You see what I'm saying? See, human beings go through enlightenment, I was about to say crisis, but they go through enlightenment evolution every like 5 to 10 years. So humans' DNA starts to evolve and expand, and get stronger every 5 to 10 years. So information and technology, medicine and all this type of stuff, it advanced. You see what I'm saying? Because humans, our consciousness is starting to expand. But if you think about it, this happened before in the past. You see what I'm saying? Like, I was saying maybe every 5 to 10 years. Maybe it's probably down to maybe every, I don't know, I was going to say maybe 50, 60 years probably. But when I think about it, because when you think about Woodstock back in the, what was it, the mid-60s or some shit like that, they was about peace. There was a lot of people who were smoking weed and stuff like that. They was doing other stuff, but weed was mainly the thing. They was talking about peace, living in peace and stuff like that, trying to stop the war in Vietnam and, just all this different type of stuff. So people was already going through an enlightenment phase at that time. But there was still a lot of other people in the world that was not with it. But when you fast forward to today's times, there's so much shit that's been accepted that was not accepted back then, like in the mid-60s. So you can see it's a lot of shit starting to change. You see what I'm saying? Because, shit is progressing. But you know how, and I'm just using this as a reference to prove a point. But you know how Aleister Crowley, he say that evolution is progress. See, that's deception. That's satanic deception, because evolution is progress, but evolution can also be damaging too if you're not evolving naturally, if you ain't evolving with nature, because you can evolve to adapt, to survive to your environment, but that's just a small level of evolution. When evolution is such a big thing and can happen on such a big scale, it's just like that's so mundane. You see what I'm saying? But if you really think about it, that shit could be used as manipulation, because look at all the shit that's been accepted now. You see what I'm saying? A lot of the shit that's been accepted now, a lot of this shit finna change in the future. Like, we finna stay in the digital era, because back in the day, that was the analog era. As you see, come on, man. I've been playing video games since I was 2 years old. I think the first game system I ever had was probably like a Dreamcast or maybe Nintendo 64 or something like that. But then again, or I could just say the first game system my mom ever bought for me that was my own, that I didn't have to share with my siblings, even though I did, but I didn't have to. It was Xbox, the original Xbox, black and green. You know what I'm saying? That shit was so hard. You feel me? And then also I had the PlayStation 1. You see what I'm saying? PlayStation 2, all that stuff. So I've been playing video games. So that era, in like the 90s, 80s, that was kind of still like that analog era. So you see video games got the analog stick on there, right? Now look at video games now. Yeah, they still got the analog stick on there and shit like that now. But most video games is virtual. You don't even need no controller. You just put the helmet on and it's a virtual reality and you play. You see what I'm saying? That's the digital era. That's what we heading into now, or we already there, but it's getting more and more advanced. Like even look at all the zombie movies and hold on, I gotta sneeze. God damn it. Oh yeah, damn, it almost came out. Sorry about that false call. You know how you feel that shit tickling in your nostril? But yeah, you know how you feel that shit tickling in your nostril? I feel like I had to sneeze. But yeah, like you see all them zombie movies and stuff. Not like, well, I ain't gonna lie. Some of them I gotta go back and go watch. It's been a minute, but look at Walking Dead, man. Look at I want to say Dawn of the Dead, but I don't think they was really talking digitally to people on there and stuff like that. It's kind of different movies, like, man, it's just like the other movies, bro. Like I can't even really think of like Log Cabin or something. I think that's the one when the government came through and tried to kill that dude because he created some type of new disease or some shit like that. Some crazy shit like that. But all that stuff they got to do with like higher up government shit and medicine and zombies and humans. All of them deal with high level advanced technology. You see what I'm saying? So although, yeah, shit may seem a certain way, you dealing with private entities, you know what I mean? Like, they got their own companies and shit, so they get their own funding from angel investors or whoever, you know what I mean? But, yes, you just pay attention to everything. Everything is going, I mean, more and more digital, obviously. But yeah, this is the era we're going to stay in. Ain't no more of that going back shit. Shit is really finna change, and you can see it. It's in, bro, they got this shit in cartoons. And they got this shit in cartoons. They got this shit in movies. Everything. They telling you what's going on. So there's gonna be some type of virus, which was COVID. But now that everything started to play out, I said this in one of my other videos recently. That now that I realized, because I had got some downloads from the universe, and shit. And yeah, man, shit, bro. I think that COVID was used as a distraction for the mass implementation of artificial intelligence, because during COVID is when the government or whatever, they had so much time to put up all these fucking 5G towers and shit. And for the longest, bro, so many people were saying 5G is gonna be connected to all these deaths, sicknesses, and all that shit. But like I said, a lot of people weren't really on that level spiritually advanced. Because when I was hearing that shit, like back in 2020, like it was kind of making sense, but it wasn't, because the information wasn't really out there like that. But now everything's connected. Wi-Fi is connected to the 5G, and the 5G is the shit that's making people sick because it's a low frequency, and they basically beaming low frequencies at people, and it's just hitting you, basically like radiation. You know what I mean? They put signals and shit in your head, in your mind and shit from the music, and that's what ODB was saying, Old Dirty Bastard. You know what I'm saying? From Wu-Tang Clan. But like I'm saying, even back then, people was not on that level. So when you talk about that type of shit, motherfuckers thinking you crazy, man. This nigga talking that bullshit. But really, it's a real thing. He said it with George Bush and them, that they hypnotize people with the music and the songs by keep playing it over and over again, that frequency, and it gets you locked in. You become hypnotized. You become basically, hypnotized to the song. So you just got this shit playing all in your head, and you just thinking like, I only heard this song one time or whatever the case may be. But because it's the frequencies that's in the music, you know, they're using sound frequency against us to get us to do things that we wouldn't normally do. And that's basically a form of gang stalking. So for example, motherfuckers, you can just be walking and shit. Next thing you know, as soon as you get to a certain spot, this car been sitting here this whole time. Motherfucker could have left this whole time, but they wait until you walk past the car or get close to the car to pull off. Ain't that weird? Why you ain't pull off 10 minutes ago? Why you ain't pull off 5 minutes ago? Why you wait till I get close enough for you to pull off? That's weird activity to me. That goes to show you either watching me or something, or it could be a coincidence, which I don't believe in coincidences. Oh yeah, I just walk up, they just been sitting there warming up their car, and when I got up there, they just pulled off. I just don't buy it, man. If that was the case, you could have pulled off at any time. You had all this time, but you wait till you see me to pull off. Then you busting U-turns randomly, and it's just weird shit, bro. Even Professor Griff, shout out Professor Griff, Public Enemy, he even said it. Gang stalking, they use these different tactics or techniques to get you to do shit you wouldn't normally do, to get you to act certain ways you wouldn't normally act. And then all the Freemasons gonna do is just flip it. I told you that nigga was crazy. They just trying to get you just to react just out of character one time. And once you do that, people gonna be looking at you crazy. I told you nigga was crazy. Now I really don't know what to believe. I thought this, I thought that. You see what I'm saying? It's nothing but a mind control game. Psychological warfare. And everybody who was a part of the experimentation back in the day, like for example, what they call it? Operation, what's it called? Call it Operation Stargate or something like that, where a lot of people, they was basically being experimented on by the government to be turned into like super soldiers. They got psychic abilities and superpowers and shit like that. That shit real. That shit real. A lot of people's parents who was into that shit, that was being experimented on with the LSD, trying to turn people into super soldiers. If it didn't work on the parents, they did the child of the parent, which is basically, hypothetically, my parent. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's my parents, but I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? Let's say, for example, my mom's mother, during her era, could have been a psychological experiment for LSD and didn't even know it. And then when she had my mom probably went through the same shit and didn't know it. And then boom, when my mom had me, you know what I'm saying? All that shit was like passed down through the genes. I'm the one who became a super soldier. Because that's what they were trying to do, turn people into super soldiers and shit like that. So that's what I'm thinking. You know, go watch that movie Push. It's basically about this type of stuff. Or giving you an idea. But yeah, man, this shit is crazy, bro. It's a lot of weird shit going on. But yeah, it's like mental, psychological tactics to try to get you. So basically, a targeted individual, these people ain't crazy. Because how can thousands and hundreds of thousands of people be experiencing the same thing? And the only thing you can say is all these niggas is experiencing psychosis. How you gonna say all these people experiencing psychosis? If it was like 1, 2, maybe 3 people, all right, maybe them niggas tweaking. But you got 100,000 people seeing the same shit? Not a coincidence, bro. This is really happening. Phenomenon. And they trying to cover it up. Sorry, my bad. I had to get that phlegm out. But they trying to cover it up. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people that's being followed and targeted, they know who you are. They know your bloodline. They know you probably got superhuman abilities. You just ain't found it out yet. people, they monitoring you and shit. You see what I'm saying? They following you around and shit, just to make sure you don't activate. It's some crazy shit going on, bro. A lot of this shit started to come out because it's the information age. But wake the damn up. More videos coming soon. Fuck Satan. Gang.